What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 44 of Edcast with John Egger. I'm sitting here with my good friend Matt Parker. After many technical difficulties, we finally got this stuff to work. So, the first thing I actually wanted to say is if you have anything you want to plug or anything you want to promote on here, feel free to do that now.
Um, yeah, if anything, I think you guys should go check out Biagio Basikia's Instagram. It's Biage_Basikia. And he puts up whiteboard workouts. If you guys are looking for any workouts during the quarantine, looking to move around, go check him out. And yeah, that's
Cool.
about it.
Awesome. That's actually perfect because it kind of ties me into the first subject I wanted to bring up with you, which is kind of just like working out through quarantine. I know you work out consistently. You're a pretty fit guy. I mean, I'm pretty into working out myself. I'm not gonna lie. I've been like slacking for the past so many months to be real with you, but like I've still been trying to do the best I can and just kind of like try to work out in like as creative ways as possible. So I was wondering like what have you been doing just to kind of like try to work out as much as you can and just like stay fit while obviously like resources are limited.
Yeah, yeah, I've been following Biagio's programs up on when he posts them up. I'll use them and just kind of sticking to the basic stuff. I mean, I don't have any weights really at all. I have maybe two 20-pound dumbbells, and that's about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've been doing a lot of just anything I can do with my body, running, walking, bike riding. Also, they're on Gymshark. That's all they post. They have Gymshark Train. There's a Instagram where they'll post like home workouts. I've been using a bunch of towel workouts. It's crazy the stuff that you actually can get a pump with, and like it's. I feel like the pumps I've been getting recently have been so much better than the ones that I was getting before the gym. Like I did chest or I did push the other day, and it was crazy. It was so random. I got done. I was like, dang, like, this is a great pump. But yeah, I
Yeah,
just kind
yeah.
of been doing any body weight kind of stuff. Nothing too nuts.
I
Uh,
got you. Nice. Yeah, it's weird. Like I feel like especially with the gym, it's like especially I feel like this will humble a lot of people that work out because like I feel like we take advantage of the weights a lot and like you said, you've been getting like better pumps with just doing body weight stuff. I think that's because when you really focus on the movement, because a lot of times like I
yeah,
mean I have a big problem with being shoulder dominant when I'm doing any type of chest or push, like
yeah,
because my front delts, especially my left one, like really comes over and like wants to take over. And like I've noticed like doing more body weight stuff, just like push-ups, like I've been able to like try to just keep my chest activated and like stay away from you know like using my shoulders, stuff like that.
yeah. I've recently had a shoulder issue, and I've always had some. I think out of high school, like a year out of high school, I had a like shoulder injury and it was nothing. But then like past 6 months, it's been brutal. So I mean, I've been working in a lot more mobility and just doing some stuff that allows me to feel good like before and after I work out. And doing that is like it's such a key. I feel like when
Yeah.
you finally incorporate those little muscle fibers and those little things that work inside you, like the joints and stuff, it's you'll have a better pump and plus you'll feel good after and you avoid injury.
Yeah,
Uh,
and a lot of guys, like especially if they get like a couple years in the lifting and like they don't think about that too much, they kind of set themselves up for injury. And I feel like I've kind of done that to myself. Like I don't necessarily feel a lot of pain, but I have like certain issues and even sometimes like numbness and like tingling in like my in my
Yeah.
in my left hand. But like yeah, just like focusing on doing that, like that postural work or like those like working those functional small type of muscles and like working on those joints are like really important before doing a workout. I actually bought an inversion table. It just came in today. I don't know if you've ever like do
No, yeah, that's sick.
yeah, yeah. It was actually pretty cheap. If you go on Amazon, like just the cheapest one on there is like 115, and like usually they run for like $400 or $500. So like
Dang.
I bought this, put this together today, and like it's funny because like I have a lot of my problems. Like if you hang from a bar, usually I've noticed when I hang from a bar, I can decompress my low spine, like my lumbar spine, but I have a lot of tightness like in my like thoracic spine, like in the middle of my back. Is
Okay.
like if you actually look at my back, my one trap sits higher than the other. And
Really?
I don't know if it's a hip issue or what it is. I think like my mom when she was training and even now, like she had it too. So like I think it's might be like a genetic thing. But
Hmm.
like I've been trying to just like I'm gonna start hanging on this every day. That way I can just kind of like open up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I've had like a weird problem. Not like a problem, but it's almost like an indifference or like an imbalance. And I was like, there's a point where I was so like critical on it. I was like, dude, like I have to change this. And like that's and even that even though I worked it out and I tried to do like as much as I can, it's like that like it is what it is. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
but I remember I would think it was like the first year of being consistent, I was really like looking at my physique a lot more, and I was trying to find the imbalances, and then like I noticed it in my chest. Like I mean, they're equal in strength. Like my benching when I bench, like I don't go one left side or one right side.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
mostly like I don't know. It's just like standing up straight. I'm still like a little bit imbalanced. I think everybody has a little bit of that somewhere. So
Yeah, nobody's perfectly symmetrical, you know?
yeah. Mm,
We all worry about that stuff. Like I get into like these like anxious spells where like since I noticed that like I have imperfections with my posture and like my shoulders, and I mean everybody who lifts, your shoulders are gonna round to an extent because of all the pushing and all the pressing you're doing, you know. So
yeah.
but like sometimes I would let it get me to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna lift. I'm just gonna take like 2 months and just do like only stretching and like postural exercises, and like while that could be helpful, it's like you still need to incorporate that lifting to like to to just stay healthy, and it'll actually like help your posture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like
feel like even if you incorporated that much, like you would get a lot out of just like doing a lot of stuff with your posture and stuff with like imbalances and joints. That would do so much more, and I feel like the discipline on that is really low for a lot of people. I mean, like
definitely,
people
yeah,
like somebody who I always follow, and Biagio showed me him is Steve Cook. You know who Steve Cook is? He's like
yeah,
he just dropped his line with Gymshark. He is a gym owner with a guy named Jacob Hutton who has coached I mean some of the best athletes, and he's like they go so into depth about it's more like physical therapy and all that kind of stuff. They incorporate that before they work out to avoid injury, and I ever since I've been following them, they've just been showing me so many good things, so can
yeah,
only speak
yeah,
good on them.
yeah. I'll definitely have to check out like Steve Cook's Instagram and stuff. I've seen stuff like on there before, but like definitely check out like those like different like stretches, things like that.
Yeah.
Do you know who Joe Therapy is on Instagram? You follow him?
It definitely sounds familiar, but I can't like recognize the face.
It's like he's like I think he's like Asian guy. He's like kind of skinny. He's a physical therapist. He puts up like a new stretch every day, and like sometimes I'll try stuff like I learned this stretch the other day called like the bretzel. It's like pretzel but with a B for some reason.
Right.
It's basically like you put your because they say like you can decompress your spine through like rotation and extension. It's usually like the best way to do that.
Mm.
I was just putting my one leg like across my body and holding it down with my one hand, and then just coming across with my other hand, and I did it, and I swear like every vertebrae in my spine went pop 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 like at once. Like
Jeez, dude.
yeah, it's always nice to find that one thing that helps, because like it's like I've never experienced like that much pain, but the worst is when like you're going to bed and like I mean I think a lot of it has to do with anxiety too, because like I've kind of dealt with anxiety for a long time. Like sometimes I'll be fine going to bed, like I'll be relaxed, but sometimes it'll be like 3 in the morning and I'm trying to go to bed and my back is just like spasming out, you know what I mean?
Mm, dang,
And
yeah.
yeah, it just makes it fucking like difficult. But I actually wanted to kind of like transition into something else. So obviously with COVID-19, like no gyms are open, nothing like that. But even like more importantly, that this isn't open right now. I'm sure. I mean, I know all the fighting gyms, all the jujitsu gyms are closed, and I wanted to get into that a little bit because I've actually been wanting to start doing that for the past like 6 months to a year. I haven't gotten into it just because of like the money and like the subscription, like
Right.
all that. But I'm honestly kind of glad I didn't right now, just because like everybody's,
Yeah.
how long have you been doing it for?
So I was definitely a different individual when I walked into that place. I mean, I go to Webb's Fitness MMA, and they got a lot of great fighters and a lot of great jiu-jitsu fighters. And I don't know what it was, but I literally went full throttle. The first day I went, I didn't stop for about 5, 6 months, like just straight every single day. I went from like 6 to 8 or 9 o'clock, and it was like so consistent, and I loved it. Like I really, I started getting into the fight game, like wanting to fight, as far as like even becoming a UFC fighter or an MMA fighter, and like a part of me had this like moment where I was like, I don't know if I really want to get punched and kicked in the face. Like, I don't know if that's really
Yeah.
what I want to do. Like, I like jujitsu. Like, that's fun.
Hmm.
And yeah, to talk on jujitsu is, I would recommend it for a lot of people, and maybe not do it at the rate that I did it, because at such a high rate, your body can realistically only take so much.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
dude, there are so many times. I think I called out of work one day. It was like I couldn't get out of bed because you're literally getting beaten up, and especially like I'm 6'1", 200 pounds, and the guys in there who are like the heavyweight people, nobody rolls with them. Like everybody's afraid to, or they're
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
oh, I don't want to roll with him. And these dudes will whooped up on me because I'm not afraid to, like, I'm like, all right, yeah, cool, whatever, like
yeah, yeah,
dragging me. And so yeah, no, jujitsu's awesome, man. And like with the quarantine, I think I recently stopped because of my shoulder pain. Like
yeah, yeah,
like I just I stopped. And um the thing with that, they've been posting live videos and live like tutorials and stuff like that if you're a subscriber to the gym and stuff. So
yeah.
that's how they've been doing it, I think, as much for staying at home and learning new technique.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason, like, I was think like tying it into COVID-19. I was just thinking how people, like, obviously when you're rolling with somebody, you're like right up against them and like close with them, and like in the like, I'm just hoping in the past few months that like people didn't. I'm sure people spread it that way somehow,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, like I think that like that's why I almost felt a little relieved that like I like waited to get into that. But honestly, I mean, I think jujitsu is awesome. Like everything you said, I completely agree with. But I honestly think I was gonna get more into the like I was thinking about going to that gym, Webs MMA. Shout out to them, and
Yeah.
starting a Muay Thai class there, like a kickboxing
Oh
class.
yeah.
Because like
I I never did Muay Thai. I was going to, but it's the same thing with jujitsu. Like anything like that, it's like a total. Your body's gonna go through something, especially with Muay Thai because of like the kicks
oh yeah,
and your
yeah,
hands, dude. It's like they're gonna hurt a lot in the beginning, and then eventually you just build a tolerance. But like the beginning is definitely a challenge, like mentally, because sometimes I don't know, man. Jiu-jitsu in the beginning, you try and be so like, oh, like I'm gonna try and be as good as possible, and sometimes you geek out. But the number one thing that somebody told me like the second day I was in there is like, yo, if I'm gonna tell you anything, just like try and relax the whole entire time. Like just be
yeah,
relaxed, because a
yeah,
lot of people spaz out because you're in that like fight or flight mode almost, and
yeah, yeah.
you want to be good, but I mean,
It's kind of like the same with any sport. Like if you're calm and like doing it and just like trusting in your like your natural abilities, it's like makes it a so much more fun, and b it's like you do better. But like I mean I've felt the same thing whether it's like playing hockey or just anything. Like when you're nervous, you're gonna fuck up. You know,
hmm,
it could be like
yeah,
gym. Like dude, when gym class, like I like the funny thing is that I really do believe that like I'm not a bad athlete, but like I would just like the nerves would always get to me, and it's like obviously when you're in like middle school, high school, it's like there's a lot of pressure around gym
absolutely.
gym gym class. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
like I was just that type of person where like if like a ball would go up in the air, it's like I feel like if I was just like playing with my friends, it would be fine catching it, but it's like I start overthinking and like get you spaz up, like exactly like you said, and like fuck up. So like yeah, it is definitely important to like stay relaxed, like doing any sport, but especially jujitsu when you're like rolling with people. I know a lot of from what I've heard, at least from listening to podcasts and stuff, a lot of jujitsu, like a lot of people who do jujitsu, love smoking weed. A lot of them get into get into smoking weed, and they say some people say it helps. I mean, I'm sure maybe it helps them relax. I know everybody's different. Some people it might give them anxiety, but I know a lot of
yeah.
them are into that.
Um, I would say that a lot. Like, so the guy who um, is kind of notorious for having people at his gym that smoke weed, and obviously he smokes weed. His name's Eddie Bravo.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really good jujitsu fighter. He invented the rubber guard. It's like a certain thing when you're in your guard, and something you do with your legs. It's really, really impressive. And I've gotten caught in it before, and I was like, yeah, like what was that? And they're like, yeah, it's rubber guard. But
Yeah.
Eddie Bravo is such a cool dude. But I mean, I rolled with one 10th Planet guy, and he was like there's like you literally it comes out of your pores. So we were all like, dang, like he's geek, like
He
he's
reeks.
ganker, and
Yeah.
yeah, like it
Yeah.
was really bad. But like the thing with jujitsu, there was a point I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a competition because everyone's like, yo, like Matt, you got to do a competition. A lot of guys are really supportive there, and that's the best thing about those gyms is like it's not even like there's no ego there. It's all like support. Like I remember the one guy who's an MMA fighter coming up. He's like, yo, like when are you gonna start fighting? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, you mean like a fighter? He's like, yeah, like you should start fighting. And I was like, oh, like I don't know if I'm ready for that. But at the same time, everybody who's just jujitsu, they were like, yeah, you're really you progress really fast within like 6 months, so you should start competing. So I was like, all right, I'll compete. And there was that I think week of preparation building up. I was really like on top of everything. I was like meal prepping. I was eating everything good. I was trying to stay under my weight. Um, and
What weight did you have to like compete at?
what was that? 185, I think. And I think I was just sitting at 190 or something. So I bumped down. I weighed in like 183. But
Yeah, yeah.
so the best the guy who owns Webb, his name is Jonathan Webb. He was
Yeah, yeah.
an MMA fighter, and he went to the UFC. And he is partners with a guy named Sean Brady, who fights out of Philadelphia. Also,
I saw his wasn't he on a UFC undercard? I saw him knock the shit out of somebody
yeah,
with a
Court McGee, or
yeah,
yeah, that guy Court's really a good fighter, and he's like really tough dude. And when Sean hit him, I was like, dang, like I've only met Sean once, and
yeah,
that dude is on like a mission. Like it's
yeah,
just and everybody says like he might weigh maybe 190, but he's like the strongest dude they've ever rolled with. But like when I went into the competition, everybody was gassing my head up like, dude, like you're really good and you got nothing to worry about. And so there's like 4 tiers of levels and stuff that you can compete at. And so I go to the first one and I have this taller young kid. He's like 17. And so I was like, all right away, dude, adrenaline dump. And
yeah,
I lost. I wound up winning. I was winning at some point, and then I lost. I never got tapped, but like the adrenaline flow was so crazy that I didn't like execute what I was wanted to execute. And realistically,
yeah.
they're like, oh, it's just about getting your feet wet. And so I had another match in my gi. I did gi and no gi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I went gi, and I did really good in the gi. Like I did really good in gi, and I went for something, and it fell through, and I happened to lose by like a point. And I mean, it was a good experience, and it definitely was like a humbling thing because everybody was like, "Oh, you're gonna go in and dominate." Didn't happen that way, and that's
Yeah,
just like some people are like that, and some people like you have to really gradually grow in that sport. But I get with Sean Brady, like he is that dude is such a freaking animal. And oh man, when like I was on the same, I used to follow him and do exactly the same workouts he would do. And so he would do, I think he would practice and then run like 3 miles. So that's what I was doing when I was
yeah,
preparing for the tournament. And so it was, it's no joke, that sport, man. It's fun though. It's definitely fun for a
yeah,
hobby.
man. For real. Do you find yourself preferring like one or the other, gi or no gi?
Yeah, I mean, I like both ways. I feel like I would definitely. Oh man, that's a good question because everybody always talks about that in the room. Everyone's always talking about like, oh, like do you like gi or no gi? I feel like I can move faster in no gi, but I like gi because of the amount of grips you can have. Like gi, you can grab literally anything, and
Yeah, yeah,
you get the chokes with the collar, the collar tie choke. I think there's like a couple different ones, but that is like it can be really crucial even if you're in a bad position and you can like hold somebody off on those. And I feel like when you do that, when you work in gi a lot, it gives you a sense of like when you're out on the street and say something was to go down and you had to defend yourself or defend somebody else, having that gi, like next thing you know, you got someone's shirt wrapped around their neck because like it's like you've established an awareness and a consciousness of your body to do these things. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I would probably go with gi. Yeah, I'd pick gi.
I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know a lot of the guys like talk about like in gi compared to no gi. It's like gi. It's like you can hold anywhere on this on the gi basically. So like
Yeah.
it helps a lot out with leverage. And I was thinking maybe gi would help like prevent the spread of like skin diseases, but I don't know if that really would.
Um, it does because of how much it covers up, but everybody would have to wear like a rash guard where it's like just um if you guys don't know what a rash guard is, it's like
Like a
Under Armour.
compression. Yeah,
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 compression.
compression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would just go down to your wrist and stuff like that. And that, I mean, it could work that way, but at the same time you're on top of each other. Like you're breathing, you're fighting somebody and stuff like that. But I feel like the thing about no-gi is people say like the downfall of no-gi is when people are sweaty, and I've rolled with people who are like really sweaty, and I'm trying to like. There's been opportune times in the middle of our roll where I'm like, oh, like I can attack them, but I'll slip it on sweat because they're sweating so much, and you
Yeah,
can't like
yeah.
grab them, especially people who like the biggest. One of the two big names right now are Nicky Rod and Nicky Rod. You remember Joe Tripoli, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Joe wrestled Nicky Rod when he was a freshman, and Nicky was a senior. And so I remember following him, and then like Nicky blew up in BJJ and ADCC trials, and it was just like pretty crazy that like that happened. But yeah, that dude. A lot of people say like in no-gi you sweat and you can't get a grip on somebody, and then in gi you'll be rolling with somebody and they'll just hold on like they won't let you move, so you kind of just have to just chill and like
Yeah,
think about it
yeah.
until they make a move. So that's the downfalls of both of them.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I definitely want to like get back like I mean, I say back, but like I was never really when I was like 13, 14, I started getting like really into just following like Muay Thai and like learning the basic stuff and like I mean, I hit a bag a lot and like I'm nothing crazy, but like I've been working on my round kick, like I got, you know what I mean? Like I got one
Yeah,
move, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
like but that move is, like it's fun it's funny because like I remember when I guess when I first started like I couldn't even throw it because if you find someone who's like a complete novice and you kind of try to show them how to throw a round kick like or like actually put force into like a kick like that like it takes
it takes
time.
time to develop
Yeah.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
And even like I remember like 6 months ago, I'm thinking like, oh, like my round kick is dog shit. And then my uncle came, like he was just down in my basement messing around, and he was like, oh, let me try this shit. And he tried kicking it, and I was like, oh wait, like it actually has improved because like I saw him try to do it, and he doesn't, practice
Yeah.
any of this stuff. And like, but yeah, I think when I go like when all this shit opens back up, if I decide to like get into like the mixed martial arts, I think I'll probably start with stand up just because of the whole COVID-19 thing. That way you
Mm,
can kind of keep a safe distance for a
distance.
while
Yeah,
until everybody's confident that like, all right, it's cool,
it's past. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could like that gym is so cool that John is always behind the desk. Like, John teaches the night class, and he you could walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm new," or like, "Hey, I used to do this," or "I've done this." You could tell him your experience. Be like, "Hey, I just want to try like Muay Thai, or you want to try jujitsu," and he'll be like, "Oh, yeah, like you get a free day, like you get the first day free," and he's like super cool about that stuff, and he'll let you at least like know what it's like. And I mean, the first day I walked in, I didn't have a gi. He was like, "You want to roll?" Because my dad used to go before me. He introduced it to me,
Oh,
and
nice.
so yeah, John is so cool, man. He literally gave me a gi. Like he was like, yeah, just throw it on, just put it back. I was like, all right, yeah, that's like he's such a cool dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I love that gym, man. So many good guys come out of that place.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I definitely want
Yeah,
to check it out once COVID-19 is over. Hopefully this shit will be over soon. I
yeah,
mean, I've been telling everybody because like I mean, like my parents and just people in general have been antsy to like get out and like they feel like it's bullshit. And like part of it is because like it does suck. It does suck to like for example, I can't go to work. Like my job is considered non-essential. So
mm,
like I've been out of work the past month pretty much,
dang,
which sucks. But at the same time, like I understand what people are doing, and it's like I'd rather us take that extra month and like we can ensure everybody's okay rather than like because everyone's talking about the economy taking a hit, but like if we fucking just open up right now, it's like if more and more people get sick, like this is going to
I
become
know.
a long term thing,
Exactly. Yeah, we'll probably just have to close it back down until it all becomes secure. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for real.
But I feel like I got a couple of friends that like they knew once it closed down, they're like, I'm on, like they jumped online and they're like, I'm just gonna get a job for the meantime. And a couple of
Yeah.
my friends landed some stuff, and it is what it is. But for the meantime, I mean, you could even go get a freaking pizza parlor job. I've seen like a couple different people doing stuff like that. But I mean, I understand. I totally understand like people going through, and that's hard. That's it's hard for if you have a family and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like the best thing is to wait until this all passes over and then open up full swing and we just get back in the swing of things.
Yeah, for real. I've even been looking for some like some different jobs, just like supermarkets, stuff like that. Like I've been looking
Yeah.
online. I might actually apply to Wawa because I know Wawa is offering hazard pay on top of like
Oh
their
yeah.
normal hourly. So like I definitely might look into that. But I'm gonna transition us into like little. I mean, this is more of a broader subject, but like next topic is, I mean, obviously people for those who don't know, me and Matt were in the same graduating class, went to high school together, and it's been what, like it's coming up on like 3 years
3 4 years, yeah.
since all that's over. So I mean, I know
Yeah.
we were talking a little bit like when we first came on, but I just wanted to ask you like how has life post high school treated you, and really like how have you noticed like, because I feel like when we were 17, 18, like we all thought like, and I know it's only been a few years, so like we're gonna look back in 20 years and be like we don't know shit now, but I feel like especially when you're in high school, like at the end of high school, it's like you really think that like you have it all figured out, and then like a
So true.
yeah, and then the next day after graduation, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And like even when you look back now, like when I look back now at my like 17-year-old self, it's like I don't even. I mean, it's different for everybody, but for me, it's like I don't even feel like I know that person. You know what I'm saying?
100%, dude. I mean, talk about a total turn of the dial first. Like me, I mean, I went through a lot of changes. It went from, I mean, I don't care. I own everything that ever happened to me, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
But I
man.
went from being somebody who like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna join the military. I'll be a cop, or I'll be this, because I just didn't want to apply myself at all. I didn't care. I mean, I'm a sociable person, but I went from, just careless decisions to total change of like now, I mean, even from like today, like each day, I feel like I'm just growing in the right direction because of what I'm conscious of. But it took me a little bit to get there. And
Yeah,
I'm happy about the process that I made and like the switch. I mean, I just made really bad decisions. And obviously like people are going to. And it wasn't like
yeah, yeah,
terrible. It's not like, awful, but for myself and the way that I am now, I definitely am more conscious of like the way I talk and the way I'm the perception I give off of myself. But yeah, dude, I mean, 17, 18-year-old me didn't care about anything. I thought I knew everything and I knew nothing. And, it hit me in the face. And then I got super humble. And now I'm here now.
yeah, man. Yeah, I felt the same way. Like when I graduated, like I feel like you think, and it's funny because like I remember all the pressure that was put on college, like coming up in high school, and really just it's from everybody, like teachers, parents, anybody. It's like there's so much pressure for college. Now I'm 3 years into college, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like,
Mm,
sometimes it just feels like I started off as a history education major because like I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but like people expect you to. So I'm like, I don't know. History is my best subject in school, and
right,
and still, it's not like I'm this fucking like historian. I'm getting B's and shit, But like I'm like,
right.
history's my best subject. Like I'll do history. Did that for half a semester. Hated it. It would be like it was like a freshman college like history class. It was like this honors program or something, and like the guy would be like, all right, like it would be Tuesday, he's like, all right, read this 30-page paper about, I don't know, the Revolutionary War or some shit that I just don't want to read about. And then he was
Mm,
like, and write this, and it was like that, like every week, all this crazy stuff. And like it wasn't even that like I didn't want to apply myself. I just felt like I wasn't applying myself towards the right things. And like even now,
yeah,
I feel that now. I'm a junior in college, and like I'll take a class just as like a gen ed, and I'll be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like I took this one class, it's called international terrorism. I took it because me and my girlfriend both took it because we're gonna go on like a study abroad trip to
it's
Ireland.
awesome.
Like this was supposed to happen in March, but
Mm,
obviously with COVID-19 and everything, it got canceled. And like now it's like not only do we still have to finish the class, but like we're out, like the trip was like 4 grand for each of us. Like we each paid like 4 grand. And
Dang.
like I've had to do all this shit, like dealing with like EF study tours and like rowing. And like our teacher didn't even um try to like get us like our money back. She basically told us, she's like, you could get a voucher, but like the option of a cash refund won't be available. And I'm thinking, obviously you don't give a shit because like they send you on a free trip around the world every 2 years.
Right.
But like I know I'm getting a little off topic from
No.
yeah, what I was talking about. But yeah, man, it's like it's sometimes you feel like you're applying yourself to like the wrong things. Like when I started in college, I was the history education double major, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't understand. Like I know I hated school. I don't know what the fuck made me think I wanted to be a teacher. Like I don't want to step in a classroom ever again, you
Right.
know? And
Yeah.
I remember I had this comp professor like my first semester, and I just wrote like some paper or something. Like it wasn't even anything important. And he asked me, he's like, "Do you do any writing in your spare time?" And I was like, "No, not really." Like I mean, I write a little bit of like song lyrics because I was doing like some music stuff back in the day with Elliot and Dylan, those guys.
Yeah.
But I was like, otherwise, no. And he was like, "Oh, I was just wondering because it seems like you have like a strong voice on the page." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So like I switched over to writing arts because luckily Rowan, you wouldn't just have to be an English major. They actually have a major more oriented towards writing.
Mm.
And when I first started that, it was like really exciting. I'm like, oh, I can, start writing different stuff because like I'm interested in kind of writing like screenplays, like TV episodes,
Yep.
stuff like that. But
Mm.
like when I started it was cool to like get the practice, but like a lot of the classes are really just kind of like boring and mundane. And as I've continued to do it, it's just gotten kind of worse and worse to the point where it's like sometimes it just feels like it's like why the hell am I doing this? And like recently I actually joined Rowan Radio. It's they're on 89.7.
Dope.
Yeah, 89.7 FM. I joined that, so I've been like a daytime DJ on there, and it makes me feel like I wish I would have majored in like RTF, you know. But it's
Mm.
like I feel like that's the thing about college is like I the degree really isn't even that worth it. Like, cause like I was looking at some statistics or like watching some video where some guy was presenting statistics, and he said that basically if you get a 4 year degree, everyone thinks they're guaranteed like a college, like a degree
A
level
job.
job. Yeah,
Yeah.
one in four people out of college during their first 3 years out of college get a job that requires a college degree. Most people when they first get out of college are working are basically working jobs that are below their level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's like the thing, dude, is like I feel like it's hard to really gain that consciousness, but once you do, you give yourself so much power of like, all right, here's what like I'm putting my attention towards. I'm putting my energy towards. I mean, I've recently become aware and become conscious of like, all right, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want my life to be? And I kind of just revert back to what I'm good at or what I feel like I like to do and what I'm passionate about. And so, um, yeah, I never went to college because I didn't really want to apply myself, and I didn't like any class at all. Really, I just liked to talk to people. But I liked psychology, dude. I aced psychology. I mean, not like I was like flunking every class, but it was that was something that I loved, and so
Yeah, you found interest in it.
yeah, and so like I started working towards that recently, and that's the thing is really figuring out what you're passionate about, what you like to do, and then working towards that kind of stuff. And I mean, my sister, she went to Syracuse. She graduated in 3 years, and she has a job over in LA. And I don't even think at first. No, she had a job in Brooklyn at first. I don't even have it didn't have to do with anything with
With her
her
degree.
degree. Yeah, and so I mean, I feel like if you want to go for something in college, go for it, man. Like shoot for it. If it's something like the job you really enjoy and you get a sense of it, go for it. But like
Yeah,
people are gonna change. Like I've come to grip with BJJ. Like I loved it. I was getting pretty good at it. But then it's like 2 hours out of my night, 3 hours out of my night, and I love the sport. But I'm not going to be a fighter. So
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
train every day. And I recently told a couple guys, like, I love those dudes. I love, like, my boys over there. I told them, I was like, yeah, I gotta focus on what, like, I want to do. I want to make my career more of like helping people and motivating people to do things and being that kind of person. And they all respect that. And I feel like I'm so conscious of, like, all right, I'm like, I can't be sitting on my phone all day. I gotta. It's like looking at what's important to you, and then
yeah,
putting
yeah.
energy into that kind of stuff. And you doing that is only going to help you in the future. So
Exactly, yeah, man, and it's rewarding. Like I know so many people, like my good friend Jack, for example. He was like, I mean, I'm sure you remember, he was like basically one of the smartest kids in our school,
yeah, very
like
smart.
passed the flying colors, all this stuff. He started as an engineering major when he went to college, and he said he did it for like a year, and he just hated it. Like he had no passion towards it, like no interest in it, and he switched over to environmental sciences. And because I think because I mean he's been into fishing in the outdoors like ever since I can remember. We met in like seventh grade, and like we started like fishing together, and like that's just
Yeah,
I know that that's just always been his thing. So like he got into that, and funny enough, his girlfriend, or I'm not going to say who it is, but like his previous girlfriend, his ex girlfriend, was basically just riding him like throughout college once he switched. Because like it's like some people, like I hate to say it, but some people are so just like they have such a one-dimensional mindset, and it really comes down to our infrastructure. Because like we put such a focus on like making money, and sure everybody wants to have their chunk of the pie, you know, a good chunk. But like
mhm,
if you're not content with what you do, you could have $1 billion. You know, you could be Jeff Bezos, but if you fucking hate Amazon and you're like, oh, I want to paint, or I want to cut hair, or I want to do whatever, like you're not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I mean, that's the thing is, I've asked a couple of guys, at my work. They're older guys. They're in their 50s, 60s. A couple of guys late 30s, and I'm like, do you guys like is this what you guys want? Like, no, that's not what they wanted to do. They didn't want to be a public worker. Like, some
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
like the job. Like, they like it. Like, I like it sometimes here and there, but do I want to be that? No. Do I feel like I have a higher um impact to the world, and that's where my pursuit is. Like, I'm really gonna try and pursue my passion and try and help a lot of people. That's what I want to do. And yeah, dude, I agree 100%. It's like a lot of people are so money driven, like, yeah, money, money, money. But if you have money and you don't like do what you love, you're not going to be happy. There's the fulfillment is going to be so little. Like, you can buy a car. How long is that going to last? Like, the fulfillment is really small compared to, I wake up every day, I do something that I like to do, and I get that fulfilling feeling of stuff like that. And I understand. It makes sense. It makes sense why people follow the norm, because they don't want to be that outlier. They don't want to stand out and
yeah,
shift into, what am I passionate about? I mean, I've asked so many people, like, oh, like, what do you like? What are you passionate about? They're old. They're 50, 60. They're like, I don't know. Like, I just work. And I'm like, they never sat down and thought about those kinds of things. So I can't blame them. But you know, if somebody's really, they're like for Jack, for an example, I know, like you said, he loves to fish. Dude, I remember seeing that kid; he was always fishing. So, like,
yeah,
even if he like, wanted to pursue fishing, he could, and also make money, and then eventually gradually do well in fishing. It's like,
yeah,
do
yeah.
something that you love to do. Like, invest your time in the stuff that you love to do. And, in the meantime, you have to make income to survive and stuff like that. But really try and put the focus in what you want to do and make that your full-time job.
Yeah,
So, I
man,
mean,
for real.
that's such a true thing. And, like, I've had a couple of people, they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Why are you?" Or they won't come up to me recently, but when I used to make YouTube videos, they're like, "Why are you doing it?" I'm like, "I just, I
It's
like
the
to do
worst,
it."
man.
Yeah, but it's
People will hate, like people will hate on that like until the day you die. You know what I'm saying?
and the thing behind that is because they're suffering from something, either their insecurity, because they're like, how are they doing this? Like, who do they think that they are because they can do this? Realistically, it's like a reflection of themselves. They're like, I couldn't do that. Or like, they don't have a mindset to tell themselves, I could do this.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so that's why it's like a reflection. Like, when people kind of give me negative energy or something, I don't sit here and entertain it, because like in my head I'm like, dude, you're suffering from something. Like you're angry, you're upset, you're anxious, you're jealous, or whatever, anything like that. Because if you're not one of those things, like if you're content with yourself, you come to grip with like, this person is doing what they love to do, and I'm going to support them. Or you don't even have to support them, but you're going to be like, you know what, they're doing what they love. You can leave it at that if that's who you want
Yeah,
to.
just
But
keep to yourself.
exactly. So yeah, man. I mean, I've gotten a couple people. Like I remember somebody from high school saw me in the store, and they're like, "Why are you making videos?" And I was like, "Why are you asking me that? Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?"
what
Like, it's a very simple answer.
why do you think I'm making videos? Because I enjoy
Exactly.
it, you know? And like
Yeah.
that was exactly what happened with this podcast. Like when I first started it, I knew like I knew people were gonna be like, why the fuck is he doing that? Like who is he to think that other people want to hear what he has to say? But it's not even really about that. Like sure, I want other people to listen to this and I want other people to get something from this, but it's not about like the person. It's just about like the passion. And like you said, like
Right.
for somebody to, that's why, I mean, I think that's kind of why I wanted to stick with it. Cause like I see so many people and I've done it plenty of times, like whether it was like the band in high school or like whatever, like just like any type of project, it's like people, especially when it comes to like content creation and like entertainment. Cause I mean, for lack of a better term, pretty much entertainment, like,
Yeah.
um, people will see that and it's like the first thing they want to do is kind of like shut it down or come down on it, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Which is why I was like, you know what, like fucking I'm just going to keep doing this shit. And it's not even really about, it's not about doing it to stick it to other people. I just do it because I love doing this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
and
like
that's the thing behind it too, man. Like it's not about it's not about anybody else realistically. Like you're doing this for you, and anybody who's going to say anything against this is, they're not, if they're not a supporter, then who are they? You know what I mean? Then they're not meant to be in your life. They're not meant to be a part of it. So then don't even focus on them. You know what I mean? Like this is, you like to do this stuff and you're doing it. Like, so just keep doing it and keep pumping it out and people are going to love it. You know what I mean? And I mean, I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, for real. Like it was funny the other day I put up a show or I put up a clip of a show and I got some dude commented on it and it was I actually talked to him cuz like it was it was a negative comment but it was more just he was saying like delete this because like the dude that I had on was talking about he's like a music producer and at
Okay.
one point him and like the his buddy that like he founded this like booking company with somehow got in contact with like one of Juice World's booking agents, and this was like recently before he passed. And like he said, he had all the paperwork done, like all this, blah blah blah. Like the show was ready to go, and then he passed away like a week before. And
Oh,
I put that story like on my Instagram, and some dude commented. He was like delete this like why like like this shows you guys in a really bad light like he's like he's just talking about how he would have profited off of Juice. I'm like, first of all, he's just telling the story. Like if you watch the whole show, you can see that like he's not saying it like, yeah, fucking this guy died, I would have made so much money. Like he's just telling what happened, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And second of all, I don't care even if he was saying that shit. Like, I mean, maybe I wouldn't necessarily agree with it, but I want to put out what like the real stories, and I want people to just be able to formulate their own opinions. And like,
Mm.
it was one of those things where he actually said like at the end of our conversation, he was like still like good luck with your podcast. Like he was supportive of it, which is cool of him. But like it was almost exciting because like everyone thinks about like wanting to put something out and people saying good job, good this, good ever, but when you get that first like bad comment, that's how you know you're really like doing something, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Because
true. Yeah.
like if you're not there yet, maybe if people, I mean, like you said, like maybe people just out of being nice, even if they don't like it, they'll keep it to themselves. But as soon as you start seeing the haters, or really just like the hate, like that's when you know if there's a percentage of that, then you're doing something right, because people felt, even if they necessarily didn't like it, it's not like you're trying to provoke people, but like they felt still encapsulated enough to like to comment on it or to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true, man. And like, it really does show the character that you are when you go and you comment something like that. It's because like you're not really conscious of who you are, of yourself. B, you're not even conscious of like what's coming out of your mouth. Like, I mean, these are just things that I'm conscious of, and I feel like a lot of people are like they won't go like, yeah, they'll probably say it behind someone's back, because that's easy. But saying it, comment on somebody's page, and what are you doing? Like, how is this beneficial to you and
Yeah,
to me?
yeah.
It's like, realistically, you saying this is not beneficial. Like, I understand you're going to reach out and you have a concern. Okay, I appreciate the concern, but if it's irrelevant and it's not really thought out, then at the same time, you're just saying stuff. You're kind of just saying anything. Have you really thought about what you're saying and stuff like that? But yeah, dude, like, I support a lot of people that like starting up their own kind of thing, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Anybody, like if
takes courage.
yeah, like I've always, I don't know, I think I learned it from my grandfather because my grandfather was the type of guy where like I could walk up to him as a kid and be like, I want to do this, or I'm thinking about this, or blah blah blah. It could be the most like astronomical shit too. Like I could be
Right,
like, oh, I want to be whatever, but he's always just has that mindset where like he's like, yeah, like you could get into that, or like you could start. You know what I'm saying? Where like
right.
I know other people out there where it's like the first thing you tell them, I want to be this, and because they don't feel like they can be something or whatever they want it to be, they'll tell you, "Oh, you can't be that."
Or
You
it's
know what I'm
hard.
saying?
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, that's hard though,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
People don't even do it. Like I respect somebody who like is blunt
went
about it and
through it.
just says you can't do that. Some people will be like, yeah, but that's you know,
100%.
that's a really hard thing to make it in. You know, like, and it's like who, for example, like say you wanted to be like a NFL player because like in America, it's like every kid grows up wanting to be in the
Right.
NFL. Like I mean, people will tell you like, "Oh, that's so hard. Like only like a certain percentage of people get into it." But it's like that's true, but like why should that be an excuse to just give up altogether? And I think people need to accept that your dream, even if it doesn't turning out like even if it doesn't turn out being exactly what you thought it would be, if you can still like do something that involves your dream or you can still stay in that field, that's also that's you following your dreams, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
100%. Yeah, dude. I feel like it's probably not going to be picture perfect. I feel like people are going to have this idea of what it'll be like for me, for instance, I have like a vision of what like it could be like if I pursued the certain businesses I want to pursue. I want to open up. I want to start doing this. But I mean, you only really vision the good part about it, which is good. But you are going to have the struggle, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
embrace so much. Like I don't. I embrace a lot of struggle because struggle is going to build your character and it's going to really challenge you. And that's the thing about life. That's why like being alive, it's like you could either have this like bad mindset of like, oh well, I can't get it done. You can have this thing like regardless of what happens, the day like if I'm still here, if I'm still breathing, I'm gonna keep chasing.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you're gonna die. Like that's it. Like that's how I look at it. It's like I'm gonna keep chasing it. I don't care if I fail 18 to 19 times. The 20th time I win, that's rewarding. Plus, I build my character because I worked hard. I
Yeah,
overcame
yeah.
all this stuff, and people are gonna want to gravitate to you, and they're gonna want to be around you, and they're gonna have like so many questions because you've overcame so much adversity and stuff like that. And I love that stuff. I live for that. Like, it's hard. Like, yeah, it's hard, but it makes you hard. Like, it makes you a hard person. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you're
definitely.
prepared for all those situations.
Yeah, the worst is seeing somebody who like I know I'm not going to say who, but I had like a certain friend coming out of high school that was like super personable. Everybody liked him, just like overall, everybody would think on the surface like, oh, like you know, like that's a great guy, whatever. But it seemed like, I mean, from at least what I know about him, because he ended up going through a breakup like soon after, and like me and a couple like close friends were trying to just like you know like be there for him pretty much like we are also just hanging out because we're friends but like thinking like all right let's be there for him whatever and like you could see I mean like the way he was lashing out I mean I ultimately felt bad because I could tell that was just how he was dealing with his pain more or less but like you could tell it was the type of person where they hadn't faced a lick of adversity up to their high school graduation you know like
Yeah,
perfect honky-dory family this and that like perfect whatever it's like not having to think about like dealing with that bullshit and then like being in like some high like I don't just for lack of a better term like high school relationship and like seeing how like losing that could like spiral somebody like so far forward just because they haven't faced that adversity you know what I mean
yeah.
but
It's a
like
challenge, man. Like that
for real
challenge. It's like I recently went through a breakup and it was over a decision, like a small decision. Like it wasn't a small decision, but I had to be like, all right, am I going to be in a relationship or am I going to be single because I wanted to do things on my own?
Yeah, I
And
understand.
my relationship was, we were tight, like we were good friends too. So that's why, um, that relationship worked so well. But
Yeah.
towards the summer, I was just, it's a learning process. Like I learned, I made a mistake. I tried to fix my mistake, and I learned. Like it is what it is. But the thing was, it was like I was trying to hang out with my friends, do all this other stuff, and also at the same time, if you're gonna have a relationship with somebody, you have to spend time with them.
Yeah,
Give
for
them
real.
the same amount of time as the people you're spending with. That's what I wasn't realizing. She would ask me like you're hanging out with your friends for like 6 hours. You come see me for like 1 hour, and then I'd be like, what? 1 hour is like not good enough. And
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me, I was so close minded to that, and I was like, dang. Like I sat back. I was like, that's something I learned. Like, if you're gonna have that person in your life, you got to make time for them.
For
And
real.
I have no bad blood with her, and she's such a great person. I would never say anything bad on her, and I only wish her, great, great, great future.
Yeah, man. Well, first I just want to say like I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry you had to go through that because that's good that you went through that. But
Mm,
like, I feel for you, man. But more importantly, like the fact that you can like reflect and like see that and like just be self-aware. That's the biggest thing, man. Is like self-aware people
awareness, yeah,
versus people who aren't self-aware. Like I mean, I'm generally a critical person. Like my friends will tell you, like if I think they're doing some stupid shit or I just think something like because I like joking about stuff. So like
yeah,
if I find flaw, I'm gonna joke about it. But more than anything, I feel like I'm always like critiquing myself, which can be a bad thing. But also, I think it's important to just like have self awareness, pretty much. And like when I like in, I mean, this is my like I've been dating my girlfriend for like it's coming up on a year, and this has been like I've had like little flings and shit. But this is my first real like relationship, and
yeah,
like there's times where like I'll fuck up and in the moment I won't even be thinking about it and then 5 seconds later I can like dial it back in my head and I'm like wow you just did that and like to just to understand how your actions affect other people because some people like don't you
yeah.
know
No, people don't care how they speak to people, and that's like the biggest, like, because I care so much about how people feel, or like even if, like I'll literally be choice, like I'll think of the words I'm gonna say to somebody, but yeah, like having that self awareness and being aware of like doing stuff. The biggest thing is like like I'm somebody who when I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Like I'll come to you, I say, you know what, I'm wrong. That's the thing is like really learning to swallow your pride for when you do something wrong, but
yeah
just being conscious of like doing stuff like, oh, something's gonna happen, then you want to try and avoid that situation as best as possible, and make it work with you and your partner. So I mean,
yeah
there's so
for
many
real
lessons in relationships, man. But right now, I think I think for my situation, I would say for the both of us, like being alone, because we were young, like 20, 19, 20. I mean,
yeah
I wasn't sure on what I wanted to do, and I'm sure she's doing her thing now. And like as far as like career and all that stuff, and that's what I'm doing. I'm like happy where I'm at because I had to make that decision for me to be clear. Like this is the decision I made. Then I have to stick to it. Like I'm not gonna go chase somebody else for no reason.
Yeah, man.
It is.
You always got to choose yourself first, you know? Like you
Mm,
can love someone and be and still be with them. You don't have to if they make you like if they make you happy and it all does work out, don't feel like, "Oh, I have to stay away," or like, I was just in a relationship so I have to spend this amount of time before I can do
yeah,
another one, Just let that shit just flows, Like you're going to meet people at the craziest fucking times.
that's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? Like
That's
it's
true.
like that's the thing, man, like with like I think that's the thing about like high school sweethearts or whatever, like meeting people. Like I feel like when you all get put into the place, like the school, like you all have to get forced to go to the same place. It's like people are going to meet and stuff, but like the real people who impact your lives are the people where you never thought that you were going to meet them, and they're just like out of the blue right there. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
so true. Yeah, I agree with that.
But
I agree with that.
on one point I actually did want to make back when we were talking about the dudes you were working with saying like how they like their job and stuff, but they don't necessarily like want to be that. I mean that's pretty much what I just said. Like fuck, I'm like losing my train of thought. But you can love a job. Like I've had jobs where I'm like, oh, this is like so convenient. The work, like the staff is cool. Really, just comes down to like having having like good coworkers,
Yeah,
and like
that's so true.
yeah, and like working with a good staff, and like you could love that job, like, but I don't want it on my gravestone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't want people to think back and be like, oh, he was such a great electrician. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah, and
mean,
that's you know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, oh, some people like me and you, where we have aspirations to higher things, when we try and give like advice, like, because I've caught myself doing this, I'll give advice to
yeah,
somebody, and they're like, I just want to be this. And I'm like, but you have, like, I'll be like, but you could be this, like, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
out there.
yeah,
But like with the thing about work, um, I worked since I was what, probably 15, 16 years old. I always worked, and I developed a very good work ethic.
yeah, yeah,
And I got this new job, and I was going through a breakup, and I allowed that breakup to like control the way I felt and control everything. And so
yeah,
my work ethic plummeted. I hated all the guys. I mean, I'll tell them now, like I didn't like any of them. Just
yeah,
because of
yeah.
me, I didn't like me. Then
That's usually
something
how it
hit me.
goes.
Yeah, something hit me, and I was like, I can only control how I feel. Like,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
for the first 6 months, bad work ethic, bad attitude. Next 6 months, I've developed good friends. I've developed a good work ethic, and all I do is bring positive energy to my work. And people like would be like this dude who literally gives a finger to everybody as a joke. We've never talked, and now like I talked to him one time, and every time he sees me, he smiles and he'll give me the finger, but like it's more like of an inviting thing.
Yeah, it's
But
endearing.
it's
Yeah,
like, dang, like the energy I've brought here from when I started to finish, like a year, has changed, and that gave me a lesson of, it doesn't matter what your circumstance is. Like, you can control the way you feel, you can control the way you work, control your mind, and having that ability and being conscious of that is going to, build so much more of a character. You're going to enlighten not only yourself, the people around you. It's so rewarding, and that's probably the number one thing I learned in the year of working. It's just like, if I can't control this, then I'm still gonna enjoy it, like, cause it's life, bro. Like, I'm alive, I'm here, I can still,
yeah,
but then work. Now I'm more working towards my passion. So, but
yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah.
probably a big lesson that I learned in a year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think it was kind of the same thing with like the friend I brought up earlier is like you could tell that like you could tell that they were just like upset and hurting, and it's like it's hard to see like a friend go through that shit, but at the same time when they're taking it out on you and your friends and just being bluntly just like just being a dick, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just being straight up rude. Like it got to the point where like I would be hanging out with these friends and this one kid like we would hang out and it was like every time it was like he was acting like worse and worse. It got to the point where I'm like, dude, I have to step away because otherwise I'm gonna do something impulsive, you know what I'm saying, and like
Yeah, I hear you.
and regret it, like, but it's that's the thing, man. Like I am a big believer. Don't get me wrong. I think that like if you need help, you should definitely seek it. Like I think people should definitely seek out therapy. I don't
Mhm.
think therapy should be like this thing where it's like like you feel like, oh, something's wrong with me. Like
Right.
I think it should be normal. It should be common.
Absolutely.
Everybody deals with shit. Everybody needs someone to talk to. It doesn't even have to be therapy. You could write shit down in a notebook. I write shit down all
That's
the
what I
time.
do.
Yeah, like write in a notebook, talk to somebody, like close friends, something like. But at the same time, if you're hurting, while it's important to like be vulnerable and tell people about it, you can't take it out on people. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
that's like that kind of ties into like what like the lesson you said you learned is like, like you like I don't think people should burrow down and stuff things, but also your problems are your responsibility and yours only.
Mm.
And you can't expect anyone, like even if you're upset and people tell you, oh, boohoo, get over it, you can't expect anyone to like be there to pick you up. Like you got it, like that is your work and yours alone to do, and sometimes it might take months and you or years. Like you might be hurting for years, and I'm sure for some people like it like it to an extent it never really, no, like nothing's ever going to be perfect as it is, but like you might go through a traumatic experience and it may change the way you are for the rest of your life, but there's also light, on the other
Yeah.
towards that end. And like I think it's important, like while it's important to be vulnerable, like people should really, I'm a big believer in people dealing with their stuff on their own and not making it other people's problems.
Yeah, and I feel like um, when you're stuck with something, I mean, it's hard because traumatic events only come, so often. It's not like it's something that just happens to, one person. It's not like a list. So at the same
Yeah, yeah,
time, when you think of it, it's like, yeah, this happened. Yeah, I feel this way. The biggest thing about it is wanting more, like wanting to, like you have this, like you only have this, but like you want to gain this much, or you want to gain that fulfillment, you want to gain that stuff, and you want to figure out how. And I felt like since I've been figuring out how to be like a life coach and going through that kind of stuff, I've been thinking something to tell clients, potential clients, is like think like a scientist or an experimentalist, like somebody like they try. The trial and error is so high for so many things. So like,
yeah. Everything.
yeah, dude, they
Nobody
just
nobody
persistent.
figured anything out the first time. You know.
Exactly, and that's the thing, and that's a great example for life. Like, if you're really going to search for something that's going to be remarkable, something that's going to change like the world or change even you, like it's going to take time. It's going to take trial and error. You're bound to fail. You're putting yourself at risk, and that's the thing. That's how it is. And some people
Yeah,
get so comfortable with the fact, like, oh, like I don't even want to fail. They're afraid of success.
yeah. They don't even want to start.
Exactly. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's hard. It is hard, but like I said, man, the thing when people say, "Oh, it's easier said than done," everything in the world is
it's
easier
easier
said
said
than
than
done.
done. Yeah, exactly.
I want to get massive. Like I want to be the biggest bodybuilder in the world. Like, or I want to put on at least 15 pounds of muscle. That's still easier said than done. Like you can't just
Yeah,
snap it and want instant
you
gratification.
could
Everything.
you could plan that out in like a 2 minute video, but it's gonna take years, like,
Exactly, and that's the thing
and
is
work,
like,
like real work.
yeah, and that's the thing is like everything is going to take work, and that work is only going to be beneficial to you because it's going to build you. It's going to make like you could always look back. That could be like your fuel. Like my fuel is going to be I'm working here at this job, and eventually I'm going to quit that job because it's not what I want to do, and I want to just move more into this passion. I don't care. I really don't care. I've gotten to the security part of I don't care if I make $1 million or, whatever I'll make. I don't care about money. I'm
Yeah,
more about
man.
the passion. I'm more about helping people because that feeling I get when people like get fulfillment on themselves and they come to me and they talk to me about it and if it's something that I implemented in them, it's like the most uplifting feeling and the most alive feeling I've ever felt. So that's why like I'm chasing that. I love that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And it's funny you bring up the whole thing about money because ironically enough, it seems that the people that are really in it for the passion, like they're the like if you just stick with it because you love to do it, that's when the money comes.
Yeah.
It's the people who come in for the money, and generally if you're doing something just for the money, you want the money quick, because
Right.
everybody wants to get rich quick. Those are the people that burn out. And like this I guess this podcast is honestly kind of an example because like I haven't made any money doing any of this the past year, and I probably won't for the next three, like, or five. But like I just like doing this shit. Like I like just bringing people. Usually I'd have people sitting in here, but like I mean we're online right now, but just like bringing
Right.
people back, like old friends, people I haven't seen in a long time, and just being able to have like a good fun conversation.
Yeah, and you're pumping out content like so much that say you have one person, you bring them on and they hit, and then you have so much great content after, like
Yeah,
behind you, and like you're gonna keep going forward even before that. So that's the thing about it is like, yes, the process is good. I mean, you really can only like for you, example, and myself, like we can only go forward in the next day and try and get closer to that goal.
yeah,
And
it's by inch.
exactly, and that's the thing, and I love that. I love that inch by inch. It came to me one point where I was like, oh, I just want to make like, yeah, I want to make money. I want to be able to go and meet people. But then I was like, I don't need that money, man. Like, of course, yes, money is definitely essential, but it's like I care more. I get more out of life by just living with people, like being around people, getting that
Yeah,
human
man.
connection and all that stuff. That stuff is what's really fulfilling to me, and I love that. I mean, dude, ever I've been posting. I posted about 4 or 5 motivational stuff on Instagram, and dude, I have gotten the best feedback from so many people. Like at one point, 33 people shared my one post, and I was like, wow, like this is crazy. I never thought this. Like, I
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's awesome that I I feel like I changed somebody's point of view in one way, and that's all I care about doing. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, man. That's kind of like, and the biggest thing is with that is that if you help one person, it makes it worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still made a change.
Yeah, you could reach like a million people and like maybe a ton of people just keep scrolling. But if you help that one person that really hears it and they're like, wow, this really helped my day. I'm going to start doing this, or really made me think about myself, like just to like have that impact. And like, that's honestly kind of how I felt with like, I haven't I'm not really like a certified child, like caretaker or anything, but like throughout just like ever since I was a little kid, I've always been good with just kind of dealing with kids. Some people are the complete opposite, and like trust me, I from working with them because like my job, my most recent job that's closed down, it's a place called Kid Fit.
Okay.
It's attached to the Garden State Discovery Museum in Cherry Hill, and it's like a kids like
Oh
gymnastics
yeah,
gym.
yeah. Off of
Yeah,
Springdale Road, right?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, right over there. And like it's funny because some days I'll be there and like the kids are being just like crazy, and I'm thinking to myself like, "Fuck these kids!" Like like I'll just be like so wrapped up in just like being upset. But then you can see like one kid will come in and they'll really gravitate towards you, and you like play with them and like they have a good time, and then you can see that the parents happy because like their kid had a really good time, and like
Yeah.
it really makes it worth it. Like the one time this group came in, they're called I think they're called Autism Warriors, or like Warriors for Autism.
Okay.
And they came in and it was funny because like it's like so many kids will come in there and it's like they might be spoiled or this or whatever, and it's like it's still rewarding to like help them and stuff. But like when I was working with those kids, you could really tell just like how like happy but like just grateful they were, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
it really does make it like when you can impact that one person, or you can really feel like that human connection, because at the end of the day, like you could have whatever job you want, you could want to do you could want to work in a fucking mine by yourself and not want to see anybody. Some people are like that, but you're still going to need some type of connection. We're all social creatures, you know.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's the best thing about like life and being alive is just connecting with other people. That's such a good feeling.
Absolutely.
Such a
Yeah,
good
for real.
feeling, brother.
That's why I love this show, man. It fucking gets me in
I
contact with
know.
people. It gets me back with old friends, and it's like, think about this. Like, I mean, we're friendly, but we were never really in the same like
Tight,
friend
yeah.
groups, never tight.
Right.
But this conversation could have never happened. But like to be able to sit down and like have a connection and like see and like just see like how like our because I feel like our insight kind of like parallels a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Like so it's like cool to like build these relationships, and like this is shit that like some people, and I've done it with plenty of people, and just in general it's like some people never think about, but like it's like you never know who you're really gonna like connect with. So like it's just important, like if anybody's listening to this right now, especially with all this going on, if you live, whether you live with your parents, if you live with your parents, go out and look at them and just be like, hey dad, I love you. And your dad might be like, what the fuck, what are you, a pussy? Because some dads are like that, but still
Yeah,
just like
I know.
just be like, I fucking love you, like go fuck yourself. But like tell your parents that you love them. Call your grandparents. I'm the worst with that personally. I always
Yeah.
forget to call my grandparents, but like just call them, tell them you love them. Fucking just like just keep connection with people, because this is such a volatile time. It's like when you lose that, like I even had I my dog passed away like a few months ago.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry, brother.
it's all right, man, I appreciate that, but like but yeah, like the past, because he was with my mom and my stepdad. He was
Mm,
actually my stepdad's dog. I met him when I was like 8. I had him for like 12 years. And
yeah.
when I moved out of my mom and stepdad's place, I moved in with my dad when I was around 14, 15. So like the last like 5 years of his life, I would see him, but it wasn't like as much. Like before, when I was living with them, it was like every night he was sleeping in my bed, like right there with me, all this stuff. So like when he was finally like, they were like, we have to put him down, like obviously it was sad and it was hard, but I more just felt like, even he wasn't even a person, it's a dog, and like I felt like I wish I would have spent more time
With a dog, yeah, and that's
connecting with him,
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
It's a weird connection, but it's like a non-verbal.
Yeah.
body language connection, and that is really powerful. And so
Yeah.
I think dogs are such a big effect, dude. And in senior year, the night of homecoming, my parents adored this dog, and I loved him too.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 3 in the morning. They're sobbing because he was
Oh.
like he died, or like he
Oh, I'm
was like
sorry,
not
man.
breathing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I was like fight or flight mode. I was like, "What are you
Yeah.
guys doing?" And they're just sitting there. I picked my dog up. I literally haul down like 42, doing like 110. I saved his life, but they were like,
Oh shit.
"Yeah, I saved his life
Nice,
because I
man.
drove so fast." But at the same time, they're like, "We can keep him alive for like 3 4 days. You can let him go." And we're like, "Yeah." I mean, we spread love to him, and that's the thing. But at the same time, every time I see a picture of him, I'm like, dang, that's my boy.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you know what
And
I
you know
mean?
what? You did right by him because sure, he ended up passing anyway. He had complications, but like you fucking like tried for that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
yeah,
know. It
like some
was
people, some
crazy.
some people, even if they do love, an animal or whatever, I feel like a lot of people will like minimize an animal's death, where they'll be like, oh, like just like
He's gone. Yeah,
it didn't even matter if you would have taken him there and he was gone anyway. You tried. You know what I'm
trying.
saying? You gave him that second chance, and I'm sure he's grateful for that, man.
Yeah, and the greatest part about it is like he never spoke a word to me, and that's the thing is like that relationship you have with a dog is like
Yeah,
it's so powerful. I mean, everybody who's been a dog owner and has one that has passed, like everybody will say like the thing about it is it's crazy. It's a cool relationship.
yeah, man. It's very unexplainable. Like,
Yeah.
like when you have a dog next to you, like you said, like they might. It's like even if they don't pay like that much attention to you, it's like those little things, like when you come home and they're like happy to see you,
Mm.
like you feel that. I mean, I have
Change your
cat.
day.
Yeah, I have cats, and they don't give a fuck about me. Like my cats, my one cat, she's actually pretty cool. She'll come up and like lay with me, but also I've been trying to keep her out of my room because she's a fucking hunter. Because like my cats go in and out, but they go indoors and outdoors. And my one cat, Pinga, she's been killing like a rabbit every night for the past
Oh,
week because there's been rabbits out everywhere. The one night I was laying there with my girlfriend, she's knocked because like just how it is, and like I hear like this like cheeping noise. It's like cheep, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then all like I hear it coming closer. So I realize I'm like, oh shit, she's about to bring in an animal. So I get up. I'm like, no, stop, like stay outside. Like she runs in and she has a fucking rabbit in her mouth, like in her mouth. The
uh,
rabbit's still cheeping. I run after her. She drops it, like runs over, and then the next half hour I'm just looking around for this rabbit. Right, like I have no idea where he is.
jeez.
I'm looking under chairs, I'm pulling shit over, blah blah blah. I I turn the corner and like right where my front door is, there's like a little corner and he's just sitting there like this, just like looking at me, you know? And like
Dang, traumatized.
yeah, he was in shock. I put on gloves. I picked him up, just put him outside, and I think he was all right. But like some of
Oh
them,
man.
a lot of them, like especially over the years, I've seen her kill like a bunch of animals. Like
Oh,
I looked out there the other day, and there was like a rabbit head just like underneath my
jeez.
yeah, yeah, and it's funny because if you saw her, it's like this cute little fluffy cat. Like she'll come up to you, rub up against your leg. You're like, oh, you're so cute, and then she eats like the heads off of like squirrels. Like
Oh.
yeah, craziness, man.
Cats, man.
I know they're fucking insane. My other cat, Nacho, he um he runs up
Dope
trees.
names. Dope names.
Yeah, man, Nacho, he's orange, and then Pinga is that's actually the name of the Inuit goddess of the hunt, like the Eskimos, like the so
Holy crap. That's
yeah,
really
so
dope.
yeah, man, it's pretty fitting because like she's always killing shit. But the one time she got stuck, so like I live in like a condo kind of building, and
Mhm.
across from me there's like another building, and there may be like because there's like a I live in like a bottom floor, and then there's like a double on top of me,
Okay.
so they're all like 3 stories. They're tall buildings. She was on top of the building across from me, like on the roof, and I'm like, how the fuck did you get up there? She must have climbed a tree because like there's this huge tree that goes up there, but it's like
Jeez.
it's got to be like 80 feet in the air, like 80 to 100 feet in the air. Maybe not that high, but like pretty fucking high. So we're trying to get her to come down, like me and my dad, and we're like, come on, come down, come down, come down. And like at some point, like we're like, all right, well, I guess we have to do something. And my dad was so embarrassed because we called the fire department, but I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to call the fucking fire department over a cat stuck in, like the cat stuck in the tree, like the classic thing. So we call them, They come out, they send the two oldest fucking guys. Like these these guys looked like it was their last day. Like you know
Dang.
what I'm saying? Like they come out, they put the ladder up. They're like, if we go up there, will she come to us? And my dad's like, no. So like my dad goes up there. He's wearing like sandals. Like this man's in like Adidas like slides. He's climbing up like a 3-story building. I'm freaking out because I'm thinking like my dad's not. I mean like my dad's a he's not like a completely whatever, but he's not like a completely athletic guy. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
understand.
So I'm like, Dad, you're gonna fucking hurt yourself. Like, so like he gets up there. He's up there for about 10 minutes, like trying to get her. At one point, he reaches for her. I can't even look at this point. I'm like, you're gonna die. This is it. This is how I lose my father. So, um, eventually, she came over to him and he grabbed her like this, and then he just brought her down. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like you
Was he
like
on like a ladder or like a ladder like I have that kind of ladder or like a fire ladder?
Well, I mean, I guess like a fire ladder, but like but not. It wasn't like on a fire truck. Like it was
Oh
just
my god,
it
it's
was
just like a ladder, really.
just a straight ladder. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if there's like if they're special or whatever, but it was just a big ladder. Yeah, and he went up the side of the building, got it, came down, Adidas slides and everything. You know.
Kudos to your dad, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's very stressful thing. I was thinking we could probably wrap this in a little bit, but the one more thing I wanted to bring up because I know you're always promoting like the message of just staying positive and like just like keeping a good mindset, and like I really appreciate that. And I was just thinking
Yeah, thank you.
if you have any words for people like during this quarantine, because obviously it's kind of a motivation killer. People have been having problems. I mean, even like I mean it's not like anybody's impervious to it. Like I'm sure me and you, everybody's dealt
Yeah,
with shit, and it's like for some people it's like it's hard to stay motivated. I know a lot of people are getting depressed, stuff like that. So I figure like I mean we've been kind of spreading the message throughout the show,
yeah,
but like I just
yeah.
figured it'd be important to like to just like let's just like hear some words on that and just bring up like that like just like the ways to stay positive amidst all this shit.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing right now is, as like civilization, as like humans, we always talk about we don't have enough time. Now is so opportune to start so many things as far as like building
Absolutely.
up plans for yourself, like and if anything, like now your friends or now your girlfriend, say you guys can't see each other, whatever it is, or your parents or anybody you've had like lacking relationships with, now is the time where you can like work on that relationship. You can reach out to them,
Absolutely.
let them know you care about them, spread that love between you and them, and you know connect to a better place where you guys can, once this is over, now you have a sense of like, all right, I'm going to stick with this relationship because I've built on it. Now I have time to do that. And if you're like career chasing, it's like time to figure out, like, now sit down with yourself, make a list with like, what am I passionate about, what do I like to do, and then drive towards that. Like, break things down, break like things down where you can look at them and be like, all right, I'm going to start doing this. And
Yeah, yeah.
where it's like, I'm passionate about this, or I like this. Like, some people, like for me, I love photography. Like, I like the whole idea, like to edit pictures. It's fun. Am I
Yeah, yeah.
passionate about it? A little bit. I found a little bit more of a passion, something I'm good at. I can like talk to people, and like that's something I love to do. But it was always there, and I always kind of was like, I don't know if I want to do that yet. But now I'm just like, nah, this is like my calling. Like, I love to help
Yeah.
people. Everybody. But if anything, I could give any advice, it's like, um, just spread love, spread the thing of living, like, to your family, to your friends, and try and gain some productivity. Like, yeah, everybody's on TikTok,
Yeah.
everybody's doing this, everybody's on Instagram, but like, prioritize your time, become conscious, become aware of like how you're spending your days, because like, I'm like, it's so crazy. Now I value days. Like, I value my time more
Yeah,
than I
for
value
real.
anything. I'm like, dang, like, I really got to crack down. I'm not saying I'm like 16 hours, I'm on go, because I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, my
Nobody's
brain.
like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Some people are,
some
but
people
like
are
most
nuts.
people aren't. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but I mean, I want to get on that level. I want to get to that level.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're looking for just a little bit of motivation, it's like, really, invest your time into something that's like important to you, relationships or something you're passionate about, or maybe like where you want to go. Maybe you want to go travel the world and see where you want to travel. Get invested in different countries, or get invested in something that you're interested into. That way it can give you a little more sense of direction of what your like purpose or what your being of life is. And yeah, I mean that's the best way to spend this time, is like spread that love and just focus on what matters most right now, what's important to you.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And like one thing you brought up that's really important is like now that we have this time, like with time, you lose excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when people have like work obligations or just whatever, like whether you want to, have a good relationship or you want to focus on a passion or you want to like chase your career, like if you if you were giving excuses before that you didn't have time, what the fuck now? It's like now
Yeah.
now is going to show. I feel like I mean, obviously, I'm sure the like breakup rates are up right now just because people are going crazy with each other. But more importantly, I think it comes down to like time and excuses. Like if people really, and this doesn't just have to be a relationship thing. This is with everything. Like if you really want to do it, you're going to. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Hmm.
almost a thing. Like if you really are passionate about it and you find it, it's just going to take off. Like and if you are saying you want to do it but you keep making excuses and you're like, oh, I don't have time for this and I have to do that, like like it's better just to accept that maybe, like you said with photography, like I'm the same way with like music. Like I love music, I've loved instruments like all growing up. I was super interested. Do I want it to be my career? Like is it that, am I really that immersed in it? Not really, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. That's being honest. You're aware, and that's good, dude. So kudos to you, man. And that's I've been with like, dude. I mean, any one of my close friends, I'd be like, I'll tell them I'm like, oh, I've been like into this, and they're like, yeah, for this week. Because I
Yeah,
switch,
yeah.
dude. I'm a frequent like switcher. That used to make me so insecure because I'd be like, "No, I'm on this," like, and then I'd
Yeah, yeah.
switch. But like now, I'm kind of like I own that. Like, yeah, I know I switched from this to this, but I mean, I'm going through stuff, dude. Like I struggle. Like I loved having a girlfriend and like having that. I don't have that now, but at the same time, it's like I'm
It's
focusing on me.
yeah, it's definitely like a change of lifestyle.
Oh yeah, one hundred
Like
percent.
I've noticed, I mean, like, because like this is the first time I've really been in like a consistent relationship, and we generally spend like a lot of time together. Just because I mean, like right now, like I'm not working, she's a server, so she's not working. Like she'll come and like stay over. Like we spend a decent amount of time together, and like it's great. But I remember before, even though I might have felt like like because I mean like we could talk about forever about how like you have to focus on yourself first and love yourself first, but when you have another person to like share that with, it's always going to have like that sweetness to it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's always going to feel good. But like before, like even though maybe I might have felt like I was missing that, it's like I would be like in the gym like 5 6 days a week. When I was really starting to put on size, like I would be in the gym like literally 7 days a week, just like working out, like eating a shit ton, like prepping my food, like stuff like that. And then fast forward, I'm 3 months into a relationship and I'm going to fucking Olive Garden. I'm at Red Robin eating shit. Like it's like
Yeah.
your lifestyle changes. Like I started setting up like a 3-day split because like I'm like I know that like if we hang out for 2 days that it's just gonna blow by. And like like I've been doing like a push pull legs type thing.
Yeah. Me too.
And yeah, that's been helpful. And I mean really the past 2 years in the gym, it really depends what your goals are, because like I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, but I also know what my priorities are, to the point where it's like, yeah, it would be awesome to like compete in a bodybuilding show, or be able to like be like this fucking big. And it's like like even like I've had people like pressure me to do it because my mom was in the IFBB. So like
Oh, dope.
there's yeah, so there's like some like almost some pressure there. But like I know at the same time that if I'm just like fit and healthy for the sake of being fit and healthy, and also I mean everybody wants to look good, you know what I'm saying? But like if I'm just like a fit healthy guy, it's like I know I have other aspirations, to the point where, or like other things that I want to prioritize, to the point where like if all I was doing was meal prepping and training, because I mean I'm sure like more than anybody, that's a 24-hour job kind of. Like
Yeah.
it keeps you really like occupied. So like if I can like to an extent just like stay fit, but like enjoy the other things I want to enjoy. It's kind of similar to like the music or the photography thing. Like I think bodybuilding's awesome. I have my uncle who was like never like that into it. Like I remember my mom trained him for a show. My mom's been doing was doing that forever. Like even I remember being little and like being in the gym with her and like just like walking around like all these like, and you know those dudes are jacked when you go in now, like those bodybuilding dudes, but like when you're 7 and you're walking around,
Massive.
you're like, these are fucking monsters. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
I would always see that and be like, that's so cool. And it's like, now that I'm here, it's like, I'm sure someday, even if I wanted to get back into it or like seriously get into it, I could, but like, it's not, I know like deep in my heart that it's not my passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a really a lot of people need to come to grip with that kind of stuff. Like a lot of people try and like they taste stuff, like tasting meaning like trying different things, and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I like this, and they like the lifestyle, but like they're fighting some urge that they know they should do this instead, and they get
Yeah.
afraid, and it's like a hard come to grip, but once you do, it's a rewarding thing. You get so much more out of it. But yeah, that's awesome. Your mom was IFBB. That's dope, dude.
Yeah, man. She started competing, I want to say like maybe 2009 when I was like
Mm.
10. She did her first NPC show and like she won it. And it was got to the point where it's like
Dang.
she got to the point anytime she did an amateur show, it was like she was winning, winning, winning to the point where like she got a pro card and she went to the IFBB and she did women's physique. So like those girls are still shredded out, big, but like
Yeah.
she wasn't like crazy, crazy huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
But
hear
like
you.
she kept doing that and I think she won like the one year she won like IFBB like Puerto Rico, like she won a couple shows. She was never like super like in there, but I think at one point she actually went to the Olympia one year.
Dang,
And
competed?
yeah, I think she placed like 6th or 8th in the Olympia, something like that, like
That's pretty
in her
impressive. That is
division.
pretty nuts, dude. Good. That's good for her, dude. I mean, she's got to know a lot. She's got to be very
Yeah,
knowledgeable of the whole thing.
she
That's
she
awesome.
she taught me how to lift. Like I'm really privileged through all this because like I can like take a 20-minute ride over 15-minute ride over to my mom's house, and the garage is like you walk in and it looks like a fucking gym,
Yeah, I'm sure.
mirrors, painted shit. There's like a dumbbell rack. Like it's pretty small, but it's like convenient. Like there's a dumbbell rack, a bench. There's a Smith machine / squat rack. Like it doubles as a squat rack and Smith machine.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Pull up bar, lat pull down machine. Like it's literally like the perfect little setup, and I've still been fucking slacking. But yeah, she's the one who taught me how to lift, and like it was actually really cool because I mean everybody deals with it when you're young and especially when you're starting. Like everybody the same way where people might deal with insecurities about being afraid to start something, because like it's like I actually wanted to bring this point up because like I feel like so many people get so hung up on feeling like it has to be perfect when they start, but that's never how it is. Like when I first started
Yeah.
doing this show, the first few episodes I was fucking up the audio. I was playing clips and they were playing over our talking. I was getting copyright claims. Like I was just learning. Because like
Yeah,
I
and
was
that's the
going.
part of it. Yeah, that's great too. Like because yeah, like a lot of people want that instant gratification. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and it's hard to like get there. It's hard to just like get there, and that
Yeah,
you knowing that makes you like, all right, well, I know it's hard, but I want to get there. I still want to get there. So then you maneuver your way through it, and you figure your way out. And your process is not going to be the same as somebody else who has what you have. Like they might have had ups and downs, but yours might be a lot more ups and a little downs, or yours might be a lot more downs and more ups. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so
I think the that analogy even kind of ties in like to like going to the gym. Like people feel insecure about like showing their body at the gym, but if you walked in the first day with a fucking beautiful physique, why are you going?
yeah,
Like it's like
right,
why are you really there? And
yeah,
like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like everybody deals with that like gym intimidation at the beginning or whatever. And
yeah,
I think it was really helpful to like have like a space where I could just kind of work out by myself because like my mom, I used to go to the gym with her and like train with her when I was even like younger and like even I'm sure skinnier and like I didn't really care. But like when you're really starting to get into it, it can be like a little like shocking. So like just to have her like really, because she showed me pretty much for 3 months. Like I like eventually I just started training on my own and like looking stuff up and whatever. But pretty much for like 3 4 months, she just kind of took me through a crash course of like training and like also, I mean, I think like it was fun to be able to like do that stuff on my own. But when I first started is when I really think I was like getting the best work in because having somebody else there to push you is so important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's where I kind of was like, I started out with my friends. I definitely, um, I got a lot more comfortable because I was like overweight out of high school. I put on weight like good solid muscle sophomore year. Broke my hand junior year, and senior year I just like barely lifted. It was like subpar. But then after that, I didn't lift at all. All I did was drink
Yeah,
and
yeah,
eat like crap. And I started going to the gym with my boys, and they put me on. And then after that, I was just like, I was on. I just wanted to work out alone. I was just kind of like, I was prioritizing my time more. I was like,
yeah, yeah,
I don't have time to just work out, and that's nothing to them. It's just me. Like, I want to get in, get out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, I miss working out with them because they're my friends and stuff like that. But other than that, I just was like, I gotta get in, I gotta get it done and get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Even like that, like you brought up just like drinking and like eating like shit. Like we all do it, you know what I'm saying? But like
Yeah.
there's like an epiphany. Like I had this kind of like, I mean, I don't know, like I was never the thing is, I mean, like I mean, you're kind of on the other side of that, but like when I think of like our high school, it was like there was only really one like group of friends that like would party, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yeah.
I always thought of it as like because some people who like weren't in that side would like would like look down on it or whatever. And I always thought of it. I'm like I just don't hang out with those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
it's like but like it's one of those things where like when you like when you party and shit, like it can be fun, but like I feel like you get to the point where you're like, all right, this shit's getting a little stale, you know, like because I experienced that in college because like I never really did that much partying in high school. So like freshman year of college, I was like, all right, I want to go fucking crazy. I just want to do everything. I want to do whatever. And I was still commuting, so it was like hard, but like I would get out when I could. And I realized when I would go out, I'd be like, I first of all, because we're guys, like I paid to get into some frat house that fucking smells like ass. There's sweat coming off of the walls. There's sweat coming off the ceiling. Like
Oh man.
it's disgusting in here. And like most importantly, like I don't even give a shit about all that stuff. But most importantly, I'm not really here with like anybody that I really fuck with. You know, like if you're
Yeah.
having a good time with your friends,
It's
like
different.
yeah, and you don't have to be partying. Like you could, like you said, like when you're just working out with your boys, like so you guys are shooting the shit, working out for a few hours, and then like the best is like after you get done the workout because it's like everyone's like, all right, let's eat, and like you sit around and eat or fucking have your shake, whatever, and just get to shoot the shit and chill. Like sometimes like having a night like that with like 3 people is so much better than being in a room with like 100. Like
Yeah.
I always felt alone in a big room. That's just me.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, I figured I would be like a part of that, like, college partying, but it fell off right out of high school. Like, I was like, I really don't want to do this stuff anymore, dude. Like, it's not cool. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
I tried to go to one rowing party, and all these dudes, and like they're outside, and it's me, Biagio, and Joe, and we're walking up, and these guys just get this like huge ego.
yeah, yeah. The door
And so,
guys,
yeah, dude,
they're
they're like, oh,
fucking
no,
weird.
no, no, you guys kick me in. I was like, all right, cool, dude. I don't want to
I
be
want,
in the
yeah, yeah,
house. I was
exactly.
like, I'm comfortable now, and I know that once I walk through that door, like, dude, I'm looking at a sauna right now. I'm like, why? Actually, I should reevaluate myself. Why do I want to go in there? There's no point. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
meet some like, realistically, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
go
yeah.
meet my wife in there. I'm not gonna meet some like
Nah, no
crazy
way.
girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it's not anything towards any college girls. It's just like I feel like I'm gonna meet you outside of your college days. Like I don't even like even now. I probably would approach somebody who's like 26, like 27, because that's where I'm at in my life. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
they're doing that. So I mean, I don't judge nobody, but that's just where I'm at.
yeah, yeah. I understand that, and I mean, it's easy to say, like they're like, I mean, sometimes you can walk into those parties and you see a girl and you're just like, I pray for that girl's father, you know, because like
Uh,
he don't even know what the fuck's going on. But like more importantly, like the same thing, same analogy with like, you know, like a bar or anything, or like even like, because that was the thing, man. Like when you're a young guy, it's like you go out to party, but you really go out to like try to fucking hook up with girls and,
yeah,
you
meet
know,
people.
fuck people
Yeah,
and shit.
meet girls.
Everybody does that. Like, but it got to a point, like same thing, like you said, like for me, where like I would go out and it's like I would see these people and I'm just thinking like I'm thinking like I'm not that I like assume that people are like dirty, but like you can just tell that like you're like these people are fucking crazy. Like some people, and like they get like the thing is that like it's fun and everything. And I mean I'm the first person to tell you like I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I think people should be able to drink whatever they want, use whatever they
Yeah,
want, fucking have fun, do whatever they want. But at some point it gets like there's always going to be like I'm sure every group has that one friend where it's like they just like get caught up in it and they keep doing it, and like they're like guys like you don't want to you because eventually it's like people are going to grow out of that, and there's always that one person that I feel like gets so immersed in it that they lag behind and they're like guys like you don't still want to do this, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah. I feel that, brother. I feel that.
yeah, absolutely. I think this might be like a good time to wrap up. But
Yeah.
yo, thank you so much for coming on. You're always welcome back.
Uh,
Once this COVID shit is over, hopefully we could like, you know, get together, like have a couple beers, something like that, just chill. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm down to come over, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, have a good show. But real quick, just if you want to promote anything you want to promote, you know, plug.
Oh, man, what could I promote? Because I do want to promote a lot. I mean, like, I want to
Well,
promote
first
so many people, but I'm trying to
first of
think.
all, your Instagram, because you're not giving yourself enough credit, man. You're I mean you're humble, but you're promoting other people. First of all, Matt's Instagram is Matt Matt Parker VV,
Yeah,
right?
yep, yep.
Cool.
Matt Parker VV. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'll leave a link down below if you're watching this on YouTube. You can follow him there. And then anything else you want
no, I think that's it, man. I really appreciate coming on here. It's awesome, catching up, talking to you, man. You're such a genuine guy. It's always fun talking to you. It's
Thanks, man.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
likewise.
yeah.
Yeah, this was a great fucking episode, dude. You don't know the fucking like
Absolutely. I feel like it
this
was awesome.
the shit I've been going through with episodes. Like I tried recording it. I mean, I said it earlier. But like I tried recording an episode 44, failed. I actually tried doing one with last night with like just my friend Jack. But like we were just hanging out, and it's like sometimes I don't try to force it, you know. Because
Yeah,
if you force the conversation, that's when the show gets bad, you know. So like
yeah.
we got like 20 minutes in, and it just wasn't happening, and I was like, we're just not going to do this, you know. But like I'm very thankful for you coming on here. We got this episode all together. This was a fucking, you know, great talk, and I really hope like whoever listens to this can just really like pull something out of it, you know. And like
Yeah.
I mean, I market this as like a comedy podcast because like I'm into comedy. I'm
Yeah.
aspiring to like keep doing stand-up comedy, and like any stand-up you'll meet has promotes through a podcast, you know. And like I mean, but really like it's just nice to sit down and like as much funny shit as you'll see and as much jokes and bullshit, like in any of those shows you'll see a lot of like, you know, serious conversations and just really just being able to like look at life and like because that's basically what comedians do, like they're thought machines, and it's like you get life out in like another perspective where someone like finds a way to laugh at that and be like, hey, I never thought of it that way, you know. and
Mhm.
like and like I don't even know why the fuck I'm like tying that in.
Nah, it makes sense.
Yeah, not that I even have to, but like it was just nice to like
Have a
fucking
real talk,
sit
right?
down and have a real talk, because like some
Yeah,
people, like I mean it sucks because like some people will be your best friends, but it's like you never feel like you could sit down with them and really talk about real shit, you know.
that's true, man. That's really true. I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. But yeah,
Uh,
thank you so much for coming on. You're always welcome back, dude. And yeah, anybody who's still listening to this, first of all, thank you. Yeah. Second of all, make sure you follow my Instagram at John__Egger. And also there's I recently created a podcast Instagram specific to this podcast. It's called Eggcast with John Egger, all one word. You could follow there. There's going to be clips, different stuff there, like new episodes like coming out. Make sure you follow the Apple Podcast, subscribe there, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on Stitcher if you use that. SoundCloud, you could also sub on there. YouTube, like and subscribe, and most importantly, just have a nice night. You know, I mean,
yeah,
this shit's tough. You know, this shit's difficult. You know, we're all getting through it. It's definitely like it's a change of lifestyle, you know. But just do the best you can. Try to get some sun every single day. I've found myself like it's easy to get stuck inside. Last night I didn't get outside till like 8 o'clock, but like just to get out and like
Still
feel
got out.
breathe fresh air. You know, like just like get that vitamin D. Stay safe. Wash your hands. I feel like I don't even have to say that at this point, but just please wash your fucking hands. I know all you people, especially in our hometown, you grimy motherfuckers. Like, just make sure you stay clean. You know, stay positive, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't. You got anything else? Or
Oh man, you killed it. We killed it on here tonight, man. It's awesome.
yeah, man, it's
Good
fucking
time.
dope. Cool. I'm just gonna play the outro, and yeah, everybody just make sure you like and subscribe, and you know, just stay strong through this time. We're gonna make it through this shit, and yeah, peace, adios. Let me just fucking there we go. I've been having problems with this all the like this jerry rigged fucking thing, but like you know, Zoom best we got. What are you gonna do? All right, adios, everybody. See you next week or whenever.